Welcome to New Song Cafe at worshiptogether.com. I'm Vicky Beeching, and today I'm joined by Chris Tomlin and Louis Giglio. Chris leads worship with the Passion Movement, and Louis is the founder and director of Passion. Today Chris is going to share his song, Holy is the Lord. So sit back and enjoy this New Song Cafe at worshiptogether.com. Guys, it's great to have you with us today.
Thank you.
And are you going to be sharing Holy is the Lord?
Yeah.
But before you play it, why don't you just tell us a bit about the story behind the song?
Yeah, I was at home as usual with my guitar on my couch and kind of had Isaiah 6 just open looking at that. And I've always been intrigued by that little passage there. It says the angels called back to one another, seraphim and cherubim, and they said, Holy, holy, holy is the Lord God Almighty. The whole earth is filled with His glory. So I just started singing it back and forth, just that simple chorus. Holy is the Lord, God Almighty, the earth is filled with His glory. And that, I mean, it just came just that fast. And I was with Louis a couple days after that, and I was like, Louis, I think this song here, I didn't know what, but I felt in my heart there was something special to it. There was something there. But I needed something more. I didn't have anything that went with it. And I said, do you have any ideas? Louis usually has some ideas for songs, and always kind of writing something in his journal. And he just said, well, I have these thoughts, and that I've been really sitting with in Nehemiah, and why don't you share that?
And we've been looking at this passage in Nehemiah, and after Israel came back and rebuilt the wall in the city, they gathered all the people together, and they built this wooden tower, and Ezra, the scribe, stood on it and opened up the word of the Lord. And Nehemiah, the way it's written, it says, and when he opened the word of the Lord, the people stood, and he praised God, and they lifted their hands to God in praise, and then they bowed down with their faces to the ground. And it's interesting how those two postures of worship came rushing together. I've got my Bible open and I'm reading through this passage, and Chris and I are just reading it section by section by section, and he's over there furiously writing in his journal and stuff. And I had my journal open, and I just had this phrase sort of been resounding in my heart. It's rising up all around. It's the anthem of the Lord's renown, and that's what Passion is all about. And I said, I just feel this refrain. It's just coming, and he's over there.
Come again? What? Rising up what?
Writing all that down, and so I'm exhausted. And I said, okay, I'm going to bed. And I think you stayed up the rest of the night or something, and boom,
Yeah.
I just put it all together.
Well, we'd love to hear it. Why don't you play it for us?
Yeah.
Really powerful song. Wow, it's awesome.
Very simple chords. I'd like to play an A, and just so I'm just capoed up, and just simple G, C, and D chords, and just the G over B is probably the only interesting chord. Just removing your middle finger, and just when the chorus starts, it gives it a bit of a better bass note for the instead of that'd be the normal thing. It's just, and then the only tricky little thing is on the bridge. It's rising up. Just keep walking my finger down the bass note. So it's rising up all around. It's the anthem of Lord your name. And it's very simple.
It's an amazing song. Guys, just thank you so much for taking the time to share it.
Absolutely.
Thanks.